Good morning. Get ready with me, you guys. Had a couple of people that have asked me both in person and have DM'd me like how to go about planning like your family vacations and getaways, because we do these like little jaunts, like, and sometimes they're bigger, but I've had a couple of people ask me like I don't even know where to start, so get ready with me and I'll explain. First of all, I am getting ready right now to meet a friend at a yoga class locally. And before you jump my shit about why the heck are you getting ready for Zen, I have a full day ahead of me too after this. So as soon as I'm done with yoga, I move on to other things. So we're just being ready for the day. But the real question, how do you go about planning a family trip? You guys are probably not gonna like this answer, but the truth to be told, I don't plan these trips at all. I usually don't even have any hand in planning these trips. I don't do any of the planning. The person that plans the trips is my husband, and I know that's like usually like backwards. Usually the woman plans the trips and all that and the husband goes along, but in our case it's opposite. And I really think it's because I've actually been diagnosed with more on the severe side of ADHD, and he has not been diagnosed, but I self-diagnosed him with OCD. So anyone that can relate to this, I know you feel my pain. Basically, the thought bubble appears in my head like, oh, I want to do this thing. And then you go to, start researching or booking the thing. And next thing you know, you're 7 to 10 business days away from when you should be going on the trip. And you're just kind of like, whoops, I guess I forgot. Whereas my husband is OCD. So when he gets a thought or an idea in his head and he runs with it, he has to execute it. There has to be a plan. It needs to be strategic. So me, I can fly by the seat of my pants. I'm a little bit more spontaneous. I don't necessarily need a plan. I just jump and dive into things, and he needs to know like the mapping, the grounding of everything that's going on, the dialogue in which we are walking into. Like, we're polar opposites when it comes to this, which has its pros and cons. Like, for me, obviously it's a pro that I have a spouse that wants to and will and wants to be the planner and organizer of all of our family trips and vacations, because they'd probably never happen if it landed in my lap. And me being spontaneous, I'm kind of like, I'll go with the flow. Like, I have no qualms, arguments about anything. I'm literally just passenger princess, and he tells me where to go and I freaking go. This is not ordinary. I know that. Like, I'm so aware. So if this is your, like, how you function as a couple too, like, let me know. And I just feel like most women are like, damn, I wish I had that. The flip side to this, or the con, I should say, is I don't really love a plan, because as an ADHDer, time management is not our thing. And I'm telling you, my whole life I have tried. But if you have ADHD, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, it's just hard to meet time quotas and whatnot. And it's not because we're assholes. It's just because in our brain, our like time just doesn't exist like it does for normal people. Whereas somebody who has OCD, like, punctuality is a must. It's a necessity. So even if, like, let's just say we're going with the flow, like our trip to San Diego, we really are gonna get there the very first day, or the first day we did get there. Like, there was no there was nothing on the agenda for the day, but in his head, he was to meet this area at this time, this area at that time, this area at that time, and we're gonna arrive at this time, and kind of go with the flow from there. Which, mind you, going with the flow, he was still circulating plans in his mind, like what we were gonna do once we arrived. And I was just kind of like, oh, let's stop here, let's take a picture there. It was getting on his fucking nerves. So basically, it can feel like he has no chill, but it's just that his brain needs to have a plan at all times, and my brain doesn't like plans. This is really amazing for us as a couple, because we complement this in other areas as well, such as, our kids' lives, sports schedules and whatnot, and things like that, where, he can totally dive into like the parent teacher apps and like write everything out in a calendar and have it organized, set it up, and he wants to know a month in advance, like who's gonna make what, who's gonna be able to go to this. Whereas before I had met him, I kind of willy-nillied it and I would miss certain things, and it just was a hot mess. And not to be intentional about it, because I want to be good at this stuff, but it's just one of those areas that I've practiced my whole life and have never gotten good at. So I would definitely say it is definitely more of a pro for me to have a partner like this than it is a con, because I really just don't think that we would do anything. Like, I want to execute these plans and ideas, and I have these great ideas and whatnot, but it's like in my brain, I just get kind of stuck. But as far as how it goes for him when it comes to making a plan, basically what he does is he will decide, say we want to go to San Diego, he will start looking into it like right the second we're talking about it. He will start researching things to do in the area, and in the next couple of days, when he kind of has an idea where he wants to stay and the things that he wants to do and what's in that area, he will just book the trip and have it all laid out. And basically on my end of things, the idea comes, like I said, it's a thought bubble that appears and I want to do it and I will look into it and research it. But what will happen is it'll sit there in a tab unopened for, it just expires. Before you know it, the idea is too late. The prices have gone up. I have dwindled down all of my time. And so, Okay, my standard makeup for the day, nothing special, but we're going with it. But you guys, I highly, highly recommend, if you have a break coming up with your kids or something like that, just plan a little small staycation, like something even in your area. I don't even know, I don't know. We have, where I live in Arizona, we have resorts all over the place. So sometimes we'll just do one of these little staycations or whatever. But the way that it revitalizes you and your family, I know traveling with kids can be really hard at times, and we've experienced that as well. But sometimes you just need to get out and just go for a weekend. Our trip to San Diego was just a weekend long, and the way that it revitalized me, it healed my soul. It felt so good to just get away from our norm and away from work and away from all of the elements of our normal life. I'm telling you, just trust me. Have your husband plan that trip. Anyways, have a great day.